Hi, Keir. This isn't actually about whether you're a good government or not, but this is just about how you message things. Like, if we were to listen to the mainstream media in the UK, the only thing people are worried about right now is illegal, their words not mine, immigration. So this should be really big news. But look how flat it is, the way you've delivered it. Like, or this statement, right? Of course it makes sense that the people that know how best to spend the money in their areas are the people from those areas. That makes sense. But what have you said? Renewal means handing back. Like, no, nobody cares about national renewal. A lot of the people that you're trying to reach out to, they don't understand what you mean. So stop using those phrases. Your lack of understanding over the importance of social media is really damaging you. That, as well as you have a whole media machine out to destroy you as well. Yet what we see in glimmers of you just being you, not you being the PM, are moments of real humanity, like when you were talking here about how music really touches your soul and how you use music to escape from being in the private eye. For example, when you were grieving the loss of your brother. That is meaningful to people. In fact, we hear all the time from people that have seen the real you, how you're not at all the person that we perceive you to be. Like, every time you see Zelensky, you give him a hug. It always looks really genuine. It looks like you care that this is a man in the middle of a war. When you greeted the campaigner who had fought for the Hillsborough Law, you didn't stand there as stuffily as you appear. You hugged them straight away, and it was a genuine hug. You can see that. But then, to be honest, I equally despair with those people that have done such brilliant work in raising awareness around the hypocrisy around the Tories and reform, who then turn their guns on you as well. They, of all people, should be able to see through the spin to see what you've actually delivered. And I think they should be calling you out on not being able to tell people what you've delivered. The idea that you're not delivering for working class people is bonkers. But the fact of the matter is the changes that you're making will be felt for years to come, and people want instant change. But of course, that's not possible. Let's take the Renters' Right Bill, for example, that just had royal assent. That is a major landmark bill for tenants throughout the UK. The amount of people that have ended up homeless because of Section 21 evictions, and you've just banned that. The details in the Act make every tenant a lot more secure in their home. It gives a little bit more control to the tenant. Maybe people don't realise how bad the rental market is, and the fact that landlords have been charging tenants up to a year's rent in advance in order to secure their home. Simple things like a tenant now being able to have a pet. It's really not rocket science, but it all helps mental health, and it helps people feel settled in their home environment. And finally, you've put it in law that the homes that are being rented out have to be of a decent standard. No more renting out mouldy homes to people and raking in the profits. Like, it truly is a historic act for people that are renting property in the UK. And yet we've heard nothing about it other than those poor landlords, what are they going to do? For a government that's been condemned for restricting free speech, even though you haven't, you are the government that put into the rule book, if you like, the fact that academics had the freedom to discuss all things. You protected their free speech, which in turn protects freedom of thought and expression, which is, of course, within the UK's law. You've said you're going to repeal the law, which means that any parent has the right to access to their children, even the ones that are abusive. You are looking at that and taking this problem seriously. It's a change that could literally change lives for the most vulnerable amongst us. We've seen so many articles about the fact that children have not returned to school after COVID, but actually, under your government, children have started to return to school, but we're not seeing any articles dealing with that fact. Just like you're being slated for allowing kids to have a free breakfast club, which frees up their parents so they can go to work earlier, which in turn pays back into the economy. But these things are great things. Like, it was only when researching this video did I find out that this update from the NHS had happened, which meant that menopause was now brought into routine health checks. But this affects literally every single woman in the UK. Why are we not hearing about it? But it's weird, we don't really hear about anything, do we? Like when the Hillsborough Law came in, that is major news. In fact, that feeds in directly to the grooming gang scandal. But we haven't seen any newspaper really cover what this means. And you haven't shouted about it loud enough. Just like there should be articles and social media posts aplenty about this Best Start family help, because we know that Sure Start, which this programme is based on, absolutely changed lives and gave people the best start in life. But why aren't we seeing our social media flooded with information about this? Like, you're not making enough about all the trade deals that you've already done. Like, bang on about them a bit more. Because they all make a difference. Because with each trade deal comes more jobs. And these jobs are going into the very areas that need a little bit of a boost. Like, again, I didn't even know about this until I was researching for this video, but this is big news for Wales. Like, it seems to me you are doing quite a lot for the poorest people in the country, but you're not shouting about it. Disenfranchised areas are suddenly going to have a little bit of hope. Like, again, this announcement will affect so many women in the UK, but nobody knows about it. As our newspapers are full of Reform Council's plans to disband flood councils, you guys are investing into flood defences because you understand that the climate crisis is real. And I haven't even started on the employment law that's going through, which will really change things for employees, giving them more job security and ensuring that they know that they can pay their rent at the end of the month. Rent which is already getting easier to pay because you've increased everybody's wages. Like, I think this should be a slogan, promises made, promises delivered. And you should keep saying what those promises are. And you should keep pointing out that you're delivering on those promises. Because actually, Britain just wants a little bit of hope right now. And you actually have the data and you've actually done the work to give that hope to people. So look, dump the I'm a politician line. Just be you. Explain to people in really simple language what you're doing, when they'll feel the benefits of those things. Just be human. To be fair, Keir, I think you're as dull as dishwater, but I do believe you have some humanity. And for sure, you've done loads of things that I don't agree with. But I also think right now you're probably the best Prime Minister we could have in this country at this moment in time. And to be fair, I think a lot of us need to remember that and be reminded of that. Anyway, good chat, as you were.